Hey everyone, welcome back to ACT Math Quick Hits, where you can make this one small change and watch a video a day. It doesn't cost you any money, only costs you a little bit of time, and you're going to help improve your ACT math score. Here's a rundown of the math section of the ACT, so let's get back into it for today. All right, we have two hyperbolas, right? The hyperbolas, and there's their equation, and there's the other equation, are graphed in our standard XY coordinate plane. Which of the following is an ellipse that intersects all four vertices of the hyperbolas? All right, so first of all, the hyperbola's vertices are those places where it's got the dots. You can think of it like a vertex is kind of like the starting point of it. That's what those vertices are. Now, if you remember all the equations of ellipses and things like that, this question will go much faster. However, I know that our school's curriculum doesn't even teach these pieces anymore. So this one is going to be best served for us just to go through and use Desmos. Now, it is going to take some time to put Desmos in, or to put these equations into Desmos, I should say. It's kind of clunky. Maybe a little bit easier if you have like a Chromebook that has a keyboard on it. They might go in a little bit quicker. But for me, it's going to take me some time to put these values in, right? So this is going to eat up a lot of time, but it's going to be a really easy question for me to answer with Desmos. So here we go. All right, so we have x divided by 9, so x squared, right? So again, like with Desmos on this iPad here, it's easier for me to put the variable and then do the division, but then I got to remember to go back and put the squared in. So again, just kind of something to keep in mind when you're putting these pieces in. So there's the first one, not too bad. Let's do the second one. All right, got them all in. So maybe at this point, right, you could actually get the numeric values of these vertices, right, just by touching the points on Desmos. And you see, you got 6 on the y-axis and 3 on the x-axis. And then if you, look down your answer choices, well, you don't see any of those pieces, right, but everything is squared, right? And then maybe you notice that, okay, the denominators of the first one is a 3 squared, and the denominators of the second one is a 6 squared. Or sorry, denominator of the first one is the first one's second fraction. There we go, is a 6 squared. So again, it seems like there's a relationship there, but Desmos will tell us for sure, right? So what we could just do then is just go through and graph all of our answer choices and see which one gives us an ellipse, right? So you got to remember, like, an ellipse is just like a stretched out circle, and it just needs to touch all these vertices. So obviously it doesn't give us anything yet, but once we get this put in, right, equals to 1, there it gives us that ellipse, right, that red ellipse there that touches all those vertices. So at this point, right, it actually worked out really nice that our first answer choice is the correct answer choice. Again, you could go through and just double check, right, make sure B, C, and D don't work if you wanted to be sure. But, for our intents and purposes here, right, we got it, right? We see that it's our very first one, and it is answer choice A. All right, I know that ACT Math Prep isn't the most exciting thing to watch, but your future self will appreciate it if you like and subscribe. That way you can keep getting these quick hits, learn about the ACT, learn some math, and learn a Desmos hack. Thanks, everyone.